Welcome back to another episode, everybody. My name is Val, and this is the One Sex Podcast. We have a very special guest today, my girlfriend, Tanii.
Hi, everybody.
So, today's going to be a special episode. She's actually our first guest in Season 2, which is pretty exciting. I'm excited not only to introduce her as a guest, but the guests that I'm going to be having on this year and the stories that they're going to tell are very impactful. So I'm very excited for this episode. I think it's a really good topic also that we're going to be talking about. And also one of my friends actually asked me to also do this topic. So, I mean, to start it off, I'm not going to really have her introduce herself necessarily, but through the course, not the course, but throughout the episode, with the questions and just the topic that we're going to be talking about, you'll get to know her more. So, yes, this is my beautiful girlfriend, Tanii, on the left. Maybe on I don't know how it looks on the YouTube video, but she's on my left. And today we're going to be talking about long-distance relationships. I don't think I've ever really said a whole lot of details about my relationship, to be honest. There is, I guess, times here and there where I have mentioned my relationship and I have talked about her, but I've never really gotten in depth about our relationship and the dynamic of the relationship. And now, I guess with this topic, you're gonna find out that me and her are in a long distance relationship. We have been for almost a year now in March.
And it's hard.
Yes, it is hard. So that's today's topic, is long distance relationships. We're going to give you guys just tips and just things that we've learned. And honestly, I think it also help anybody that's also not in a long distance relationship, just to keep like an emotional connection alive, because that's important in any relationship, long distance or not. So that's today's topic,
and to teach you guys how we've survived.
Yeah. Honestly, so with long distance relationships, I guess personally what I've learned is, honestly, yes, you do get the opportunity to work on yourself more. You do have a lot of time on your hands, but also with that time you reflect on, I guess she mentioned this the other day, where it really highlights things that you both need to work on, not only as individuals but as a couple, because you do have so much time to really reflect and I guess just look at either the problems or the discussions you guys have, and it highlights what you need to work on. And also, being long distance, it gives you the time to work on those things. It doesn't make it easy, but it is helpful, and it's helpful insight for not only you but like your partner, to really have like these discussions on what you both need to work on. And
I think it's important too that don't start a long distance relationship unless you're willing to be with that person for so long and to go through every challenge that you're gonna face.
Agreed.
I think you face more challenges like long distance than you do when you're together, or at least we did.
Yeah, I think I could say, just because I have experienced like physically being with your partner from the very beginning of the relationship throughout the whole time versus like long distance, I can say that based off of the experience from physically being with your partner versus physically not, I think there has been times where I can look back at my old relationship that I could say that there have been periods where we were stagnant. Like we weren't obviously the emotional connection was there, but we weren't putting as much effort with like dating each other and like doing cute things for each other, or like surprising each other as much. It was just kind of stagnant, which I don't think there's anything wrong when there's a period of like being stagnant.
that's been like the thing we've had to emphasize on.
Yeah.
Like this whole time is dates and dating each other.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything wrong with being stagnant, but when it's so long term, I think it does tend to bleed into your emotional connection. Just because it's kind of like, yeah, you're here, I'm here, who cares? And
Yes.
also one thing, because we do fly back and forth, it's being very intentional about dating. And for me, one of the things that I actually told her is like, when we see each other, like, and we go on these dates, let's get ready. Like, let's get ready. And it brings that excitement, and it's fun to get ready, even though, like, yeah, it's for you, but it's also for your partner too, because when you feel good, you, like, no, when you look good, you feel good. Yeah. And the date is fun, and yeah, bro, it's just like,
I think it's important to know we started out when we first started dating, we were like, we're never gonna do long distance. We started out being like, once you move, like, no way, see you later. And I think just building the foundation that we built, when Val decided to move to Texas, we were like, okay, I'm ready. And so I think that's important, like you said, the main thing is to be intentional. Have the intention when you go into a long distance relationship that it's gonna work.
Yeah.
I think that's the only way that it will work, is if both partners are intentional about what's gonna happen with the relationship. Because I think we both went into it being like, yes, this is gonna work. Like, we're gonna do what we have to do to make it work. And I don't think that a long distance relationship would work if one partner was that way and the other one was saying, yeah, if it happens, it happens. If not, whatever.
Yeah.
You have to be so more intentional and more willing to give that person what they need.
Agreed. Yeah, just because well, some of the things that I wrote down are from personal experience, and also just things that she already mentioned this, but don't do it if you don't see a future with them. And if you're both not intentional, like she said, it's off the bat's not a good idea.
Don't try it.
Also, I'm not saying, obviously you do you, whatever the fuck you want to do, but I think it is easier when you already have a foundation and then you go into long distance. And also, you can't always plan for everything. You can try, but life is gonna life, not everything is gonna go your way. But I think also having like a plan, like, okay, at least an idea of how long we're gonna be long distance, so that you can work with the time frame and be like, okay, am I gonna move there? Are you gonna come back? Or are we gonna move somewhere different together? It's just
Have a plan.
Yes, it's a plan. It's helpful because there's an end goal, because long distance, long term, like for 3-5 years is fucking hard. I don't think I could do that long. Personally,
I think that's what's helped us is every other month we switch. So I'll go there, or I'll come here because we're in Texas right now, or you'll come back to Utah, and we'll just switch every other month, and we always have something we're looking forward to.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as the person flies back, like one of us flies back, we have the next flight booked. And I think that's been so helpful, is to have a plan. And I think at the beginning we were like, okay, this is nice because we're just working on ourselves, we're doing our own thing. And when was it, like a month ago, I think, is when we were like, yeah, this is this is enough. Like, we're ready to not be long distance. It's hard.
Yeah.
And our relationship's just gotten to such a good place that we're just like ready to figure out what our next chapter is and where we're gonna go next and what our plan is. So I think, like what you said, like having a plan and always having something ready is so important with long distance.
Yeah. Yeah, because also another thing is physical intimacy. It's important. Like, yes, emotional connection is big. It's number one over everything. But also, I think what also helps keep an emotional connection strong is being able to physically touch your partner, hug them, kiss them, have sex, all that shit. Like, I think it just makes your emotional connection even stronger. Like, it just adds to it. It's not everything, but it adds to that emotional connection. And she already said it, but just like planning to meet each other, whether it's one partner going to the other or both of you meeting somewhere together, like you just have to plan back and forth and obviously make it even. What we've done is, because obviously finances is a fucking thing, especially in this economy. Like,
Yes.
shit gets fucking expensive. What we've done is, like, when we're booking trips, I pay half, and then for when I'm booking my trip to go see her, she pays half. Like, we go half and half, and that's what's also helped with long distance. And again, it's also a part of why it's just not sustainable long term, especially if you already financially, it's just not sustainable for you. Like, it's not for everybody, you know. It's not easy, especially in this economy.
We'll even plan like, okay, I'll pay half, but when you're here, we're gonna only spend this amount.
Yeah, like, we budget.
You have to be honest about where you are financially, just to keep it sustainable.
Agreed. For real.
If you, I think it's hard too, because when you are together, finally after a while,
you're like, I want to do so much shit. I want to go to these places.
To go do everything, and then you're up $500, $600, and that's not sustainable
long term. No.
Yes, in this economy and just in general, that's not sustainable to spend that much money every week that we see each other out of the month. That's
at least not yet.
Exactly. I think another thing that's helped us so much is we plan a specific day every week.
Virtual dates.
That we have like a virtual date. And whether that's getting the same meal and eating it or watching the same show at the same time, we just make it intentional to still have date nights and to still create that emotional connection that we have. And I think that's been something that's helped us so much.
Yeah. Or even if you're not the type, if you want more like intimate time, get a card game. Literally, if you don't have money to buy a card game, bro, use the internet as your resource. You can literally look up on Google like deep questions to ask my partner to connect with them, and there's so many that pulled up. Like, even for me, because I was curious what questions would pull up, and we played card games, and then I went on the internet and looked up like additional questions to ask her, and we went off of that too. So you don't always, it doesn't always have to be like, you don't always have to spend money to have quality time and just emotionally connect, because life gets busy, but you also have to be the same way you would be intentional about setting dates when you're like physically together, like what's it called, like making reservations or picking your significant other up and going to, I don't know, a fun activity. It's the same thing. We're like, okay, at this time we're gonna get this food, we're gonna watch this show, or at this time we're gonna get this food or make our dinner, and then FaceTime and play this card game. Yeah,
I think even this time is a good example because I've been here for a while now. And so I was here over Valentine's Day, and we talked about all the trips we have planned this year. We have so many trips, so many things, and plus flying back and forth. We just have so much money we have to spend this year, and I'm in school full time, so that's expensive
and work
too.
full time.
Yeah, work in school full time, so
shit adds up.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard and it's financially expensive. So this time we just decided for Valentine's we didn't go out. We didn't do anything super elaborate. And like I decorated the apartment. We still made it special, but we made dinner at home. Like it was, and we were just honest about our finances. Like we have so much going on. We can't go to a restaurant where we're going to spend $300 tonight, but let's celebrate it as if we were. And I think that's literally something that helped us financially because we were just so honest about all the trips we have planned and everything.
Yeah.
And I just think that's so important to be honest and to make time for each other. Because like Val said, like I'm in school full time. I'm taking 15 credits and I'm working full-time. Val's working full-time, working on the podcast. Like, we both have such busy lives.
Literally.
That separating time for each other and being honest with each other is, like, one of the main keys to long distance, I think. Like, life gets in the way. Life is always going to be life, and shit's going to happen and pop up, and you just have to be willing to make that time for your partner still.
Yeah, and it also just goes back to, like, if they wanted, they would. Like, it's really not that hard, honestly, no matter.
If they want to, they will, yeah.
Yeah, like, how busy life gets. Like, yeah, bro, if you let it consume you, it will, but you just have to be mindful of what you really want, you know? Like, the relationship to work or not. You have to just be willing to, honestly, like, just be intentional about your time and, I don't know, I guess just wanting it to work out with your partner, especially being long distance. Also, back to what I was saying previously is, like, with, I guess, just being open and honest about, like, your expectations if you do end up being or starting a long distance relationship, is being very intentional and setting expectations, being like, honestly, I don't see this. I personally don't want to be long distance for more than 3 months, 6 months, or even a year, just because it's not for everybody, and I understand that. Honestly, at first when I started, I was like, what the fuck, I can never do this. But obviously the more like the longer time went on, and just the stronger we got, it got easier. And, like, there was never, for me personally, I don't have necessarily trust issues. I was never like, oh damn, is she gonna cheat on me?
I think, yeah, on both sides. I don't think that was ever a, like, insecurity that crossed either of our minds.
Yeah.
It never occurred to me that you could cheat. I think it was just more about the not being close that we were gonna struggle with.
Yeah. And
I think for me, like, the relationship before my relationship with Val was long distance also, so I kind of had an idea of how it goes and how hard it gets. And I swore to myself I would never do long distance again. I remember telling myself, never again will I do that.
Just because it wasn't the best experience.
Yes, it was hard. And
Fuck you, you know who you are. I'm kidding. Just kidding.
No, absolutely not. But I remember telling Val, like, I will never do long distance again. Mm-hmm. And that's part of why we were like, yeah, like, once you go to Texas, we're not doing it. Because I was so, like, set on never doing it again. And I just think us just, like, yeah, like, getting stronger, like you said, is, like, what helped us to become, like, ready to do long distance.
Yeah, true. And also, I think what also helps is me and her were friends for a while before we actually decided to, like, get in a committed relationship. And we've known each other for a long ass time. So it's also helped, like, with trust, because I honestly, I could understand how fucking scary it would be to meet somebody online and know that they live, like, on the other side of the country or even other side of the world, and you don't know their intentions. You don't know if what they're telling you is true. Especially,
you don't even know if they're true.
Because we've been watching Catfish. Ooh, I fucking love that show. You really
don't know. We've been obsessed.
You don't know. Like, it's scary. I totally get that. So that'd be really hard for me to want to be in a long distance relationship knowing that somebody, like, that I met somebody online. I don't know how I'd feel about that. Obviously, never say never, because shit changes all the time.
All the time.
But I don't know. That is hard. But you just have to navigate it as best as you could, and obviously pick up on the red flags. Don't be fucking blinded by the love and, I guess, the intensity of having a crush or having someone like you and shit. Just be careful and just be aware of that, because there's a lot of people that cheat and you don't want to be fooled, to BH.
I think one of my like biggest tips for people that are thinking about getting a long distance relationship or are in one, or like considering it, whatever, I think my biggest tip is to know what you want. Because like you said, don't ignore the red flags. Be willing to set those boundaries, because long distance will test every part of you. We've been tested in every way possible, I think, with finances, things getting in the way, like I even
trauma.
Yeah. I in December tore my Achilles.
Oof, yeah.
And I had surgery. December 13th, I had surgery, and Val had to stay there with me for a month and a half, and I think that was one of the biggest trials we've been through, which tested us, because we went from like long distance to being with each other all day, every day for 6 weeks, and I couldn't do anything. I was on crutches, I was in a cast, and I even told Val this, like, I just remember her helping me and being like, yeah, like, I do want to keep doing long distance. Like, I do love being with Val. And it was just, so I think that's important to know what you want. And when that person's, like, willing to give it to you and you can notice it, I think that'll help you realize, like, what their intentions are, too.
Yeah. Agreed. Yeah, like, I feel like when you can experience somebody at their worst, you really know what type of... No, not you. I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying, like, in general, because there's going to be times where...
It was my worst, for sure.
I'm not saying that, but I didn't mean it like that, but, like, just also personal experience because of what happened with somebody in my life last year that I was really close to, is, like, I really got to experience them at their worst, and I really got to see who they were as a person, and that's very telling about somebody. So it's also important to be aware of that, and like also when you're going through a hard time or when your partner is going through a hard time, how do you show up for them? How do they show up for you? It's very telling about who they are and what type of partner they will be for you. Obviously, there's always room for growth, and as long as someone's able, like, if they're able to be like, okay, like, let's say someone is not showing up for you the way you'd like them to, and you bring it up to them and you make them aware of that, over time you can see if they're willing to be teachable or not, and from there you'll be able to see if they can work with you and if they can adjust the ways that they comfort you or emotionally be there for you, and from there also you can decide if you want to continue to be with that person or not, because relationships are very consuming, like, not in a bad way, but I'm saying, like, especially with long distance, it can be very emotionally, like, consuming and time consuming, and you don't want to continue to waste your time with somebody that's not willing to meet you halfway, and especially give you what you need. So you have to just be very aware of that. And also, like, staying positive when times get tough, because shit can get rough, bro. Because we're humans.
Rough's an understatement.
Yeah. Like, we're humans. We have rough days. There's times where I'm like, bro, today is straight up not a good day. Like, I need time. Like, I need time to decompress. I need to go to the gym. I need to decompress. I have so much to do. I had a shitty-ass day at work. I'm just stressed. And just me communicating that to her gives her the opportunity to give me that time and space that I need. Because I'm communicating to her what I need. If I don't do that, I just become more stressed, and it makes it worse for not only myself but for her, because I end up projecting my anger or me being upset, and what is that going to do for us? It's not going to help me or her in any way. So communication is also key. Just because you're physically not together, it doesn't mean that emotionally your partner can't feel from afar, like, if something is wrong. Especially, like, the deeper your emotional connection gets, the more you get to understand your partner, and you can, like, it's easier for you to read them, and it's like, no, I'm picking up on something, like clearly something is wrong, you know.
Yes, I think we do that a lot. I think going back to the positivity, we tell each other how many times a week, like 50, like this isn't our forever. Mm-hmm. We're not going to be doing this forever. It's just right now. And like you said, I feel like just us being there for each other and continuing to like be positive and to give those like inspiring words to each other has just helped us to stay positive and helped us to like push through.
Yeah.
Because I think there's been a few days lately where I'll have a rough day at work and then I'll go do homework because I have a 5-page paper due. And I'll be like, I just can't do it tonight. Like, we can FaceTime, but I'm going to fall asleep probably and I don't want to talk. And so I think and you're just very positive about, okay, yeah, you can do it. Like, go write your paper. And if you're still not feeling it, that's fine. We'll talk tomorrow. Like, we just have to be so positive and be so, like, give each other grace about where we are and how busy we are and what we're going through. Yeah. I think it helps to know, like, we're not alone. Like, we have each other, even on the hard days, even the times when we're arguing just because we miss each other. Like, we just have to know we have each other and to stay positive and to continue to push through, because it isn't our forever. And long distance, hopefully, isn't your forever. And if it is, that sucks, but it shouldn't be.
That's also not sustainable. I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Trust. It's just not.
It hasn't even been a year and we're like, enough's no more. Let's end it. So staying positive and giving each other the grace that you both need will ultimately strengthen your relationship in the end and give you the results that you're wanting from it.
Agreed. Also, to be honest, another key point is keeping your individuality, okay? You're your own person. You have to fucking remember that. Your relationship can't be the only thing you look forward to. It's beautiful, and I get that. Believe me, it's nice to look forward to speaking to the person, seeing the person, but it can't be the only thing that's in the back of your head all the time. Keeping your individuality. What does that mean? It can mean you like hobbies. You like to fucking paint. You like to fucking cook. You like to go to the gym. You like to go on runs. You like just sipping wine and watching your TV show. Do that. You have to keep your individuality, because that's important. You don't want to lose yourself in the relationship either. That's not good for you. That's not good for the relationship. Keep your individuality. Spend time with your friends. Spend time with your family. Just as you would if you were physically in the same city as your partner, okay? I get that, yes. Would you go to their family things and would you spend time with their friends? Yes. But I hope, for not only you and your partner's sake, that there were times that you both have time with your friends, time with your family, or even just time alone, because individuality is important. Even if you're not in a relationship, individuality is fucking important for everybody, okay?
100%. Yeah.
We're all our own person. Being in a relationship is not a part of our fucking personality. It's just it's a portion of our life. Yes, it's important, but it's not our everything, okay? It's good to separate that shit. I've been there, bro. Trust. It doesn't. Dude, I'll later, maybe in another episode, I'll explain why, but it's just not good for you or your mental health. Just don't do it. Keep your individuality, play your fucking video games, whatever the fuck that is for you. Go for a swim, go for a walk. Keep it, please.
I think the way that we've worked through, you got yourself worked up. Yeah. I think the way that we've kept our individuality is we don't FaceTime until night, until we've both done everything. So we'll text and respond when we can, but we don't FaceTime until that day. We've both worked. We've both gone to the gym. We've both done everything that was on our to-do list that day, and then we'll FaceTime. Because, like Val said, we've been friends forever. Val bullied me in elementary. Bro. We've been friends for so long. And we've been friends for so long, and so when we FaceTime, we can talk for hours. Like, we could sit and talk about nothing and everything at the same time for so long. And so that's been our thing, is that we will not FaceTime until night.
Yeah.
Just so we're not talking forever, and we're not holding ourselves back from getting things done that we need to.
Yeah.
So that's been so important, is for us to keep our individuality and to still get things done. Because without it, it would, having a long distance relationship consume your whole life would be the most, like, deteriorating thing to your mental health.
Agreed.
Like, I think if I sat and cried and was sad about our long distance relationship all day, every day, nothing positive is going to come from that. So I think just being my own person, still hanging out with my friends, still going to the gym, doing homework, my family, we love them.
Shout out to you.
The
you
Fosters.
Know who you are. Thank you for listening.
But doing that and still being with them has, I think, strengthened us, because it also gives us something to talk about.
True.
But yes, just being our own individual people, have strengthened us to lengths that you can't imagine until you're long distance, I think.
Yeah. Also, with just being physically apart, also take advantage of the fact that you can work on yourself. You can work on yourself in all the areas that you fall short, because we're not perfect. It's honestly, like I said, it's highlighted all the parts of myself that I need to work on as a partner to show up for her the way she needs me to. And
same.
with being long distance and just having it highlight all your fucking unhealthy habits and your toxic traits, I'm like, okay, I'm aware of this now. How can I move forward and be a better partner and show up as a better person for not only myself but my relationship and for my partner? And I've been able to really work on those things, and thank God for therapy. My therapist has helped me and us so much. And not only that, but you can go to therapy for fucking 6 months and see no change. Shout out to my therapist. Fucking homie has changed my life. But even he has said that he has people couples go in, that they know the tools that they fucking can use. They have the knowledge, but they don't put it to work. And they're just going in, literally not only wasting their time and money. Bro, what's the point of going to therapy, knowing the tools, having the knowledge, but not implementing that in your life? Like, what the fuck? That's such a waste of time. That's crazy to me. That's so fucking crazy. And it's sad because they're not even the only ones. So please, bro.
Yes.
Work on yourself, because you matter. You matter.
Yes.
And if you can show up as the best, most healthy version for you, you will just flourish. Is that the right word? Flourish. And it'll just make your relationship so peaceful. And we all want peace, don't we? I know I do. I have it now. I have it now, though. I have it now that I've actually implemented, like, the shit that my therapist has just showed me and taught me, and also just, like, breakthroughs that I've had in my own life. So please work on yourself. Even if you're not in a relationship, because it's healthy, you know?
We even talked about the other day how working... You're sweating.
Yeah.
We even talked about the other day how working on yourself ultimately strengthens your relationship and makes your relationship better. Once you become better, your relationship becomes better. And long distance, we were saying that it's so much easier that when things are tough to give up.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like,
especially already being long distance, like, fuck this. It's already not working. This shit's already fucking hard. I'm done.
Yeah.
It could take one fucking argument to end the whole relationship.
Yeah.
Straight up.
And it's over little things. Like, I feel like once you're long distance, having, like, no like not seeing each other in person, having no physical intimacy, I think any little thing like sets you off more than you think. Like, we're not like impatient people. And I feel like little things happen and we're both like, oh my gosh, like it's bigger than we think, just because long distance is hard. And like Val said, us going to our individual therapists, shout out to them.
Green flag.
Shout out to them. But us going to our individual therapists has, again, highlighted the things that we need to work on. But working on ourselves has made our relationship better.
Yes, also, I'm not ashamed to say it, before I would have been, because it's hard to admit, like, yeah, like my relationship has problems, and honestly, no, listen though, let me finish. Because honestly, think about it. I've never come across any relationship that hasn't had problems. Regardless of how that relationship decides to deal with those problems, either with each other or going to a professional, however the fuck you do it, nobody that I've ever fucking come across, including my parents and all the happy fucking couples on Instagram and shit, everybody has problems. Before, I would have been ashamed to admit it, and I would have been like, fuck, don't even say it. But honestly, another thing that's also helped us that I'm not ashamed to say that I did in my previous relationship is couples therapy. It has helped us so much. It's helped me understand her better. It's helped her understand me better. It's helped me, like, also face myself and face the things that I am short on. Same. Like, not being as comforting as I need to sometimes, or not hearing her and being emotionally more aware or in tune with my emotions to really show up for her, yes, in the relationship. Like, it's just helped me so much. And a lot of people are adamant on couples therapy or even individual therapy. Thankfully, it's getting better, but bro, oh my god, just get out of your own way.
Well, I think the statistic on, or not statistic, but I think the societal norm is that couples therapy means that you just can't do it and that your relationship's just really messed up. And I think for us, it was just really helpful for long distance in general, for us to be like, we don't know how to navigate this as like me and you together as a couple, and we just need help navigating it. And I think that was like originally like why we were like, yeah, we should go. But then, as we said, things get highlighted and we realize like, oh, we have other problems. And it's just even nice to be heard from an outside perspective that doesn't even know our relationship. And so, again, just going back to long distance, like, work on yourself, go to therapy, and help your relationship. Helping yourself helps your relationship. And I promise your relationship will strengthen if you're putting in the work to strengthen yourself.
Yeah, agreed. And also, bro, don't be one of those people that are like, I don't need therapy. Trust me, I fucking said that shit too. But also, I think it's an ego thing. Like, I really do think it's an ego thing, because you feel like less than because you can't figure it out on your own. But bro, we're human. We make fucking mistakes. We don't have all the answers. And that's okay. Like, if you have tried time after time and you genuinely feel like you've done your best to work on these things on your own, right? Either if it's talking to your friend or just being able to internalize and be like, oh fuck, like this is where I'm fucking up on, or this is something that I need to work on. Yes, it's good to be aware of it, but if you feel like you yourself, you don't have the tools and you don't have all the knowledge to do it by yourself, it's okay to go to a fucking professional. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't make you less of a person. As a matter of fact, it makes you more of a courageous fucking person than anything, to be honest, to be willing 100%. To be like, honestly, I don't have all the tools myself. I don't have all the knowledge, even though Google has so many articles and so many fucking answers to my question. Like, I just feel like that's still not good enough for me. I need help, and that's okay. Cause we all need help, bro. We all can't do it all by our fucking selves. If we could, we'd be like fucking Superman, but we ain't. We're human.
We really are.
You know, and it's okay to say, hey, I need help. I can't do it myself. That's fine. We have the resources. Take advantage of those resources. If you don't want to go in person, there's so many online therapies, like so many. But don't be afraid to ask for help, you know? It'll only benefit you if you could just have the courage to be like, yeah, I can't do it by myself, and I'm going to use the resources that I have. So, yeah. Anything else that you want to say, babe? No? Okay.
Close it?
No, almost. So, I have some statistics because I love statistics. So, according to this article that I read, long-distance relationships actually have a success rate of approximately 60%. That's a lot.
Wow.
That's more than I thought.
That's actually more than I thought, too.
Yeah.
I thought like 20, 30.
Yeah.
Maybe less.
And unfortunately, 40% of long-distance relationships eventually end, and only 28% of those fail when changes aren't planned accordingly.
Underestimate?
Yeah. Don't underestimate yourself and finding love. It's everywhere, bro. Love is where you literally it's abundant. It's everywhere. You'll find it. It's endless. If you find somebody and you feel like they're your soulmate, and unfortunately they're long distance and it doesn't end up working out, that's okay. It all happens for a reason. But if it does end up working out, great. You know, that's everybody's goal. No one wants to get into a relationship and want it to end. But yeah, also just be aware. People cheat. People are liars. You know, just be honest. Make sure to just pick up on the red flags. Don't let love blind you. You know, like you're always listen to your gut. And yeah, just stay honest and true to yourself. But on to another statistic. 22% of people in long distance relationships admit to cheating, compared to general statistic that
they admitted
to cheating. Is that what? Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy, huh? Isn't that sad? Cheaters are everywhere, bro, for real. That's another topic that I want to get into. Shit's crazy. Compared to the general statistic that 44% of unmarried men and women cheat, and 20% of married couples in the U.S. cheat.
Wow.
From these numbers, it appears that long-distance relationships may not be more prone to infidelity. So that's crazy. So what I guess I should explain. Like, what that means is, it doesn't mean just because you're in a long distance relationship that you're more prone to get cheated on or be the cheater. Like, it could happen to anybody. So, yeah, loyalty doesn't have a distance.
But I do think it makes sense that people do think in long distance you're more likely to get cheated on, for sure.
Also, I guess it's just easier, like,
they're not here.
Yeah, they're physically not here. Also, being horny is a thing. Wanting to have sex is a thing. I'm not saying or condoning cheating at all. But I'm saying if
better not.
Not at all. But I'm saying, like, I could understand, like, if you haven't seen your partner in so long and you're just craving that physical intimacy, how it could pop up in your head like, fuck, I'm in my city, there's so many people that I could just go ahead and do this with, but don't let those thoughts fucking make you do something stupid. Especially, it's not worth them at all, especially if you have someone loyal and someone that you say you love. Don't cheat. Ever. But yeah, that's today's episode, long distance relationships with me and T. I hope you guys liked it.
You can do it. You can do hard things.
Yes, you can.
And if you do have questions or need advice or anything, you can reach out to either of us. Mm-hmm. DM us, talk to us. We're here. Long distance is hard, but you can get through it. if we're getting through it, you can get through it. And we're here if you need us.
Yeah. But yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Make sure to always lead with love. Spread love. Tell somebody that you love them. Call
Love yourself.
them. Yes. And I'll see you guys in the next episode, guys. What's next? Thank you.